From the moment you walk into the showroom floor at Trapp Cadillac, you understand our commitment to providing a truly exceptional experience for all returning and new customers.
Our goal is to make sure you're always comfortable while understanding the entire process of getting into your new Trapp Cadillac.
When you drive a Trapp Cadillac, you know performance, bold styling, and our shared commitment to service.
One thing you can always count on here at Trapp Cadillac is our excellent service experience.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Facebook YouTube coverage, and we look back at the year 2024. Let's take a look at April.
It's always exciting when we get to find out some of the people who are making huge differences in people's lives and being recognized nationally for the work that they're doing. Very glad to welcome back to the program Dr. Vinod Nair. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Keith. Appreciate
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, Dr. Nair is an interventional cardiologist with Cardiovascular Institute of the South right here at CIS. And Doc, you guys are doing some remarkable things. We're excited about what you're doing. I'm excited because, you know, in the research that we do, we know that South Louisiana kind of leads the country. Louisiana leads the country in heart disease, and South Louisiana leads the state. And it's one of those things that we've got to do something about. And you guys are doing that at CIS, and it's being nationally recognized. It's got to be exciting.
It is. It is. In general, in the United States, there is a real issue with control of blood pressure. Approximately 117 million Americans have history of hypertension,
Right.
and 70% of them are not well controlled.
Wow. 70% of such a high number.
That's correct.
Not well controlled. One of the things that you guys are being recognized for is because y'all are doing that. Let's talk a little bit about this award. And so I want to make sure I get it right. It is the Million Hearts Hypertension Control Champion by the CDC, by the Centers of Disease and Control, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Let's talk a little bit about that award and how it is that CIS has achieved this.
A Million Heart Program is a national program which is co-led by both CMS and CDC.
Right.
The aim is to reduce cardiovascular death by 1 million by 2027. That would be 5 years since the program has started.
Okay, 5 years since 2022.
That's
Okay,
correct.
gotcha.
And as we know, hypertension is one of the main diseases which results in stroke, dementia, heart attack, heart failure, and kidney problems. And majority of the patients who have hypertension initially do not recognize they have hypertension. And even when they are diagnosed, the vast majority of them do not achieve good control. Only 40% of the patients are on 2 medications, which is the current guideline recommends when you start out with, you should be on 2 medications. But only 40% are on 2 medications at this time. Wow. So we have a huge pool of patients who can significantly benefit by appropriate and aggressive control of hypertension.
So as you were mentioning the numbers, we're talking about millions of people, and only 70% are well controlled, and now only 40% are on these 2 meds that's recommended.
That's correct.
Is that because people don't want to really be on medication, or maybe do people not see hypertension as the negative effect that it can really be? That's
correct. In the beginning stages, it may not cause you any symptoms, so it's very hard to understand why you need to be on 2 medications, what is the importance of controlling it.
Right.
But by the time it shows symptoms, it's kind of late because you develop heart failure or kidney issues from hypertension.
Yeah, it's one of those disease states where we see in medicine that if we can get ahead of it, which is what this program is about, if we can reduce it by 1 million over 5 years, then we're really doing our job because we're helping people realize that they can decrease those risks. Problem is, when you start seeing the symptoms, now you're having to treat more active medical problems and cardiac issues.
That's correct. We call it secondary prevention as opposed to primary prevention, that we start taking care of it before it becomes a real issue.
Okay. And so it's really nice to be able to see that nationally, and CIS has always been on the national radar. This is nothing new for CIS and for what you and your team and Dr. Walker's team does over at CIS in all of the different CIS locations, always being nationally recognized. But it's nice to know that they're calling CIS and they're communicating with CIS about how to make a difference for this primary hypertension.
That's correct. Million Heart Program is such that you can only qualify for it once in lifetime. So a clinic or a physician can only qualify for it once.
Wow.
In 2022, they awarded 9 nationally, now 9 champions, and CIS got 2 of the 9, both in Louisiana as well as in Mississippi.
And here again, I'm prideful about where we are in South Louisiana and excited about CIS, but being awarded in both of those states,
That's right.
making a huge difference because we see a lot of these problems. Mississippi is very high on that list of people with the cardiovascular issues and issues with hypertension, and we're making a difference in both of those states. I say we.
That's right. No, we are.
I'm happy we. CIS is certainly making a difference and a splash. So very nice to be able to be awarded that, and you can only be awarded once.
That's correct.
Wow. And so that continues as they are hoping that y'all are part of that program in these 5 years, right? To reduce this hypertension.
That's correct. No, we at CIS had started at this program back in 2017.
Right.
So we, even before this Million Heart has come, we knew our numbers and we are already achieved what they want to 4 years ahead of the time. So in 2017, when we started out, we had 56% control, and Million Heart needs 80% blood pressure control across the clinic. And from 2018 onwards, we had 80% control. Last year, we have 86% control of blood pressure of our patients.
Just the volume of people that you guys have made improvements for is one thing, but you started a program before anybody else said, hey, this is something we need to do. CIS is always looking at how do we make a difference for problem areas and how do we go about doing that. Y'all started this in 2017 and have gotten progressively better at managing one of the most difficult conditions with hypertension. How do we go about doing that, Doc?
That's correct. We, on an average, see around 1,200 to 1,300 patients a day across the system. Wow. And these patients are monitored almost on real time. Or outliers are identified the very next day, and a plan and a process is in place to contact them if the blood pressure is not well controlled. And nursing staff is educated how to check the blood pressure, and if the blood pressure is high, we would repeat the blood pressure before patient leaves the clinic, and if the blood pressure continues to be high, medication changes would be made, and an appointment for the patient to come back within 30 days will be provided. Also, patients who have particularly difficult type of blood pressure, we monitor them remotely. CIS has a program called Cardio at Home, in which we are able to monitor blood pressure using Bluetooth devices and cellular devices. And so that these are transmitted automatically to the physician and the nursing staff, and we can identify who is not controlled, who is better controlled, and adjust medications accordingly.
So again, it's taking that technology, something you're very knowledgeable about, taking this technology and moving it forward so that, again, real-time assessment and accuracy. Efficacy, making sure that we're determining that this really is what their blood pressure is, and determining that, and then having real-time evaluation. Within 24 hours, if that blood pressure is not controlled, then you can make a difference and an impact.
That's
right?
correct. That's correct.
And not all doctors or not all clinics see them within 30 days thereafter. But that high frequency of seeing them within 30 days is probably making a huge difference to managing these patients.
That's correct. And also educating the patient, what's the importance of that, even though they don't have symptoms, educating them that at the time we identify high blood pressure, sitting down with them and explaining to them why is it that they need to follow up back so that we can achieve better control.
Right. And it's also the education that the excellent nursing staff, the excellent team at CIS is talking about diet too.
That's correct.
Right. Talking about all of those things that impact that. We think about table salt all the time. I assume that question comes up, but making sure that they are eating what they should be eating that is going to impact or affect their heart health as well.
That's very correct.
And so I like the fact that that's involved. And I know because of my family members that know, Dad's got a little hypertension. Mom had to have a TAVR not too long ago. And it's the excellent care and the follow-up. And you're exactly right. It's the expedience. If there's an issue, we're going to address it right away. And that's how those things are controlled. And that's how we kind of make a difference for these patients with these blood pressure issues. And it's just so very nice.
Very correct.
And having that whole team, right? Can we talk a little bit about that team that's involved?
Sure. So we do have an array of nursing staff who are specially trained in quality, and they monitor these patients. And it's a multimodality approach in the sense that CIS does have a dietitian on staff. So if we identify particularly diet is a problem, they would get a dietary consultation. And in our certain programs like PCM, which is Principal Care Management, a hypertensive patient can be assigned a nurse who would follow up the patient on a weekly basis to monitor how the patient is eating, how the patient's blood pressure is, and affect change rather than wait for the next appointment.
Yeah, and so now here we see these interventions that are in between, right?
That's correct.
Weekly, sometimes even daily if need be, following to see what is it that's really changing, what is it that's affecting. And quite frankly, you could, when you're going to start that new patient potentially on 2 new meds, we need to kind of see how they're working, right? How that's affecting their health.
That's correct. If they can enroll in a remote monitoring program, then we automatically know on a weekly basis how the blood pressure is trending, and if we need to up titrate medication, they don't even have to come to the clinic. We may be able to do it remotely by phone call and such.
Yeah, and the other thing is, here we are just finishing with Easter and going through this Lenten process. We know that down in South Louisiana, Lent is probably one of the more challenging times.
Right.
Because people are eating a little more seafood. Maybe they're eating and doing those things. Y'all are able to monitor that remotely. And to be able to do that more cost efficiently without having to see them in the clinic and still monitor what they need.
That's correct.
Yeah. Dr. Nair, you've got to be awfully proud about what it is that CIS and the team is doing and the impact. Let's talk about how happy you've got to be about the impact we're making in the community.
Obviously, it's a team effort, and yes, we are incredibly proud of what we have achieved, and the fact that we not only achieved it, and will be the 5th year in a row, we are maintaining it about 85-86%. I think that is the key there, rather than just one-off, you do it 1 year.
Hi, I'm Cherry. Hi, I'm Cherry. And we are everybody's favorite twins. Today is about Twin Fest Louisiana, which supports Cherish x2, our nonprofit, which gives back to foster children. And one of our initiatives that we are known for is Laptop of Love, where we give foster youth who graduate or complete their high set with laptops. In the last 4 years, we have given 56 brand new laptops to foster youth throughout the state of Louisiana. So I was thinking of every nonprofit needs something to support itself. And I was thinking of ways in which we can do an event that gives us a fundraising budget. Well, with that in mind, I was like, we could do a food festival, we could do a music festival. I wanted to do something that was unique and people-centered. So I said, let's do a festival in Louisiana that celebrates twins, because we are twins. We're known as everybody's favorite twins. And so that's when I came up with the concept of Twin Fest Louisiana for twins, multiples, and the people who love them. Absolutely. We have an amazing committee behind us. Twin Fest could not happen without our committee. Their dedication every week in, week out is the reason why you have Twin Fest Louisiana. And we are so proud of them. We're super excited. But not only do Twin Fest benefit Cherish x2, it also benefits 2 other local nonprofits. Eleanor Claire, which is for children who passed away for organ donation and became organ donors, as well as Sisters with Strength and Knowledge, a nonprofit that helps women who battle breast cancer. So even though Cherish x2 benefits, we also benefit other 2 nonprofits, as well as our local small eateries get to benefit from their local businesses being exposed to different audiences.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
with the Sheriff of Terrebonne Parish, Sheriff Tim Saunier. This involves a cold case from 2018, and we're going to talk to the sheriff about how it all transpired, but they have made some cases out of this cold case, so they're moving forward with it. Sheriff, we appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you, Martin.
Tell us a little bit, the victim, LaRondell Esco, correct?
So LaRondell Esco, he's a 45-year-old male at the time of his disappearance. This was originally a missing person, which the date of disappearance was October 16, 2018. He was reported missing October 18, 2018. Through the course of the investigation, he was last seen leaving a card game at a residence on Westside Boulevard in Houma, October 16, 2018, in a 2003 Ford Expedition. The blue Ford Expedition was recovered October 26th on Bayou Sally Road in Dulac, Louisiana. A thorough investigation was conducted, however, the case went cold. In March 2024, our Criminal Intelligence Division discovered new information. That new information led to completion of additional interviews and new evidence that came forward. The new information revealed that Esco was invited to a gathering at a residence of Rodriguez and Cantrell in Chauvin, Louisiana on October 16, 2018. We can confirm that Rodriguez and Cantrell are in a relationship. The gathering was planned by both Rodriguez and Cantrell with both specific intent to kill Esco at the residence. Once at the residence, Esco was lured to the rear of the property where he was then killed by Rodriguez. After the murder, Rodriguez disposed of Esco's body at the rear of the property, and on April 4th, 2024, investigators conducted interviews with Rodriguez and Cantrell, who admitted their involvement in the murder, which led to their arrest for first-degree murder. On April 5th and 6th, authorities and crime scene personnel recovered the human remains on the property in Chauvin, Louisiana, which are believed to be LaRondell Esco's. The remains is still an active investigation, and there's a great deal of additional information still being reviewed, and we will provide additional information as we receive it.
I guess we're all spoiled from watching TV shows to watch cold cases and all, but is that really similar? Is that reality? Or when you're dealing with a cold case, how do you go about getting in, and what do you lean on the most? Is it people giving you information?
Well, first, a case may go cold where leads are investigated to where, okay, every stone's turned and it may become dormant. As new information, they take it and continue to move forward. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, some of the information that we were able to receive, it moved forward to where now we finally had enough to make an arrest. But I can tell you a great deal of work has been put into this investigation from the beginning and now to its current stages, and there's still a lot of work to be, there's still a lot of work being done.
Yeah, talk about your group here at the Sheriff's Department that has been working on this for a while, and how involved is this when they do a case like this?
Well, it's very involved, and one thing to remember, our detectives, criminal investigative division, our intel division work hand in hand together, but we're victim oriented. Families deserve peace, and we're not gonna stop till we can make sure the family deserves the peace and the justice they deserve.
Yeah. When somebody comes forward, do they come forward for different reasons, or do some of them just have guilt that has been on their mind for a while and they just want to clear their own mind?
I think sometimes it's a combination of both, or just new information. As we get new information, if it's something that's credible we can investigate, we'll continue to move forward. And I think that was pretty much most of the case on this particular, the information in the beginning. And look, I'll tell you right now, I can't speak enough about my criminal investigative division, criminal intelligence division that are really working hard, and they did a great job, and I'm very proud of the work. And if you can see, and I think you had some footage from earlier, mm-hmm. You can see those guys were out there working. Look, I'm very proud of the work that they're doing.
Yeah, can we talk about that scene? Naturally we do, and you allowed us to get some footage, but what could you tell us about the scene itself, if you could? Well,
through that, they were once our investigators went out there, they were able to look and see where remains would be. There was a little bit of logistics work and cooperation, even among the parish, where we're able to basically pump a pond down so we can. Then we actually started finding remains relatively fast.
How did y'all get to the crime scene right now? Was it somebody that just gave you a tip and sort of proceed from there? Because was it mostly technology or was it mostly boots on the ground?
It's a combination of both, but look, technology definitely helps our boots on the ground. It's having the right equipment, having the right work, but I'm not going to take away from the hard work. Technology can do it all, but it's definitely been helped tremendously for our good law enforcement officers, our investigators, to get the job done.
Captain Mitchell Lejean, Detective Bureau Assistant Supervisor.
Major Cody Wazan, Chief of Detectives.
First Lieutenant Travis Sanford, Criminal Intelligence Division.
Senior Detective Richard Hunter, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, Criminal Intelligence Division.
Lieutenant Colonel Terry Day, Criminal Commander, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office.
And just Sheriff, while we have you there with the guys behind you, it's like I said, we don't always want to mimic TV. We see so much on TV that we don't know what's truth and what's not truth. But how involved is that to get this done with a group like this?
It's a lot of work, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm 100% blessed when you see these guys out there doing their job. I feel blessed every day when I see them doing what they do.
Where does it go from here, Sheriff, to investigate?
It's still a continued investigation. There's nothing ever closed. But you know, if there's anybody else that was involved one way or another need to be held accountable, I'm going to make sure that happens.
Most of you understand what we are doing here this morning. We're here to discuss a missing persons case from 2018, which ultimately ended in the death of LaRondell Esco, who was a 45-year-old black male at the time of his disappearance. Some recent information has come to light, which has enabled us to solve this case and make 2 arrests, which we will discuss as we move forward. So without further ado, we'll have Terrebonne Sheriff Tim Saunier.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. First and foremost, I'd like to extend my prayers to the family and through this process so we can help them get closure and we get justice for the victims and the families which has been left behind. The victim was LaRondell Esco, a 45-year-old male at the time of his disappearance. Like First Lieutenant Tabor said, it was a missing person, but the date of his disappearance was October 16, 2018. He was reported missing October 18, 2018. 2 suspects were arrested was Glenn Paul Rodriguez, 27 years old of Houma, and Ashley Bridget Cantrell, 25 years old of Houma. Esco was last seen leaving a card game at a residence on West Side of Houma on October 16, 2018 in a 2003 Ford Expedition. The blue Expedition was recovered October 26 on Bayou Sally Road in Dulac. Through the investigation conducted, however, the case went cold. In March 2024, the criminal intelligence detectives discovered new information which led to the completion of additional interviews and new evidence. The new information revealed that Esco was invited to the gathering at a residence of Rodriguez and Cantrell in Chauvin, Louisiana on October 16, 2018. We can confirm that Rodriguez and Cantrell are in a relationship, and the gathering was planned by both Rodriguez and Cantrell with a specific intent to murder Esco at the residence. Once at the residence, Esco was lured to the rear of the property where he was murdered by Rodriguez. After the murder, Rodriguez disposed of Esco's body at the rear of the property. On April 4th, 2024, investigators conducted interviews with Rodriguez, Cantrell, who admitted their involvement in the murder, which led to their arrest for first-degree murder. On April 5th and 6th, authorities and crime scene personnel recovered human remains on the property at Chauvin, Louisiana, which were believed to be Londrell Esco. Our officers is working closely, and I want to put a thank you out to LSU Faces and our forensic anthropologist who has been a partner in this in helping us, assisting with this investigation. This does remain an active investigation, and there's a great deal of additional information is being reviewed, and we'll provide additional information as it becomes available. I want to thank Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the equipment and the assistance they help in the recovery of the remains, and I want to thank District Attorney Joe Waits in his office in working closely with my office and the victim's family in getting justice and closure for the family. And I'd like to thank the coroner's office for their cooperation in this investigation. And more importantly, I got detectives, and I have a lot of good investigators, and a lot of them are standing behind me that do an outstanding job, and I want to personally thank them, because what we do is about victims and making sure justice is being served, especially for families in these type of tragic incidents, that we can help this family get closure so they can move on with their lives.
Sheriff, when did it go from the deciding factor from a missing person to maybe a murder?
I think over the course of the investigation, it probably led to where it's probably going to be that it would probably, from transition from missing initial, like I said, it was initially as a missing person. As the investigation, as we get information towards the end of the case, I would say that's when we determined this was a murder.
Sheriff, you mentioned that there was an intent to kill here, but why? What was the motive behind it?
It was narcotics related.
And speaking with the family, when you told them this information that you had possibly found their loved one, what was that interaction like with that family?
Well, we wanted to make sure, look, we got to sit down personally with the family. We were able to explain everything that we can explain and make sure we help and assist them through this process. So, we was very thorough on giving them the information they needed so they understand, so we can help them move forward in closure, because they went through this almost 6 years, and I can only imagine for the parents, mother, close family, that's a long time for them to be wondering about their loved one, if he's gone, did he disappear, did something happen to him? So, it's important that we help families through this process, and we will stand right next to that family throughout this whole process and help them so they can get through this.
What was the method of the murder? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, we know, but we still have we're still investigating.
Can you talk about the process of pumping the pond and different things?
Well, we had a lot of good public partners from parish government with some equipment and some local companies that I want to thank them, and we will thank them for that, but they were able to assist in helping us pump the pond so we can, so my investigators can start going through that area.
And did both suspects corroborate that that's where they had placed the body?
Everything worked out from the investigation to the interviews, and which led us there.
Joe, what will your role be now as the district attorney in this case?
Certainly, Martin. Before I get to that, first of all, I'd like to offer condolences to the family. It's a very mentally tormenting thing to lose a loved one, but not have the crucial questions, who, what, when, where, and why, answered in a situation like this. So over the years, having those questions lingering is very mind taxing on a person and a family. So my condolences, and I believe that these gentlemen here, the sheriff and his team, have put together an excellent case. I've reviewed some of the evidence, and I believe that we have a very good case, especially with the fact that we're talking about a 6 or 7 year old case. To have a solid case like these guys have put together is excellent police work. They've done an excellent job, and I congratulate them on the excellent work that they have done.
You're not new to cold cases either. You've had a couple of cold cases before.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to put together the magnitude of the evidence they have in this particular case is kind of mind-blowing. We're not going to go through all the evidence here, but our review of the evidence with the sheriff and the detectives and all, that this case is very solid, and I feel very confident we're going to get convictions in this case based upon what I know here today. So it's these guys have done a bang-up job, and I congratulate them. Now, you had another question, Martin?
Yeah, what's the official charges that are
the official charges are 2 counts of first-degree murder on both Cantrell and Rodriguez.
Are you pursuing capital punishment?
We will. That is a decision we make after conferring with the families. We make that decision after we have the input from the families. We have not had a chance to meet with them yet, but could that be a possibility? It could be. I don't know yet. We will confer with the families and make a decision, as well as with the detectives, and make a joint decision as what's best for the community.
In respect to the family, Sheriff, did you meet with the family of the victim?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that in respect to the family?
We met with the families yesterday, and like I said, we were able to sit down with them, answer their questions, and look, the way I deal with my office when there's victims and families, they're not going to find out by social media, and they're not going to find out by the news media. It's going to be face-to-face with my investigators. They deserve that, and those families deserve that, not to hear it from other than us. And so we were able to have a very cordial meeting, and they were very thankful. But you know, it was a very difficult time for them. So we owe the families, and we owe them that justice, and we owe them that closure they deserve under these circumstances.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
Ida was one of the worst things we've ever dealt with, but SBA came down to help. SBA is part of the national program to kind of help out. You got along really well with them.
I sure did. You know, I mean, they helped the small businesses out, and they did a lot of other stuff. You know what I mean? They really came forward and helped out people.
They did, but they also recognized some of the things you were doing as well.
They sure did. You know, probably about 6 months after the hurricane, I had a call from a Mr. Kumar, that's with SBA out of California, and he told me that they were recognizing me and putting me up for a Phoenix Award.
Okay.
So, you know, I was shocked. I'm honored and humbled that, you know, I'm an individual that they picked to do this, you know.
Yeah, and so the Phoenix Award itself, the Office of Disaster Recovery Resilience has identified the Phoenix Award is for outstanding contributions to disaster recovery by a public official, and they named you as that public official.
Yes, sir, and I'm honored because this year I'm the only public official out of the whole United States that they're honoring with this award.
Well, and we know we've got lots of really good people, but it's really nice to see other people come in and say, you know what, this guy does outstanding work and should be honored for it. And that's through the national organization, but they're also acknowledging you on a state level as well.
Yes, sir, they sure are. I'm going to receive this award April the 28th in Washington, D.C., and I think it's on the 3rd of May. They're honoring me in Baton Rouge also.
Baton Rouge. Wow. Well, tell me a little bit, walk me through this. I know you said you got the phone call from Kumar about it. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts that went into that after this phone call.
Well, you know, Keith, I'm honored and humbled very much to have this award.
Right.
It's not just me that did it, though. You know, there's so many people that helped me to do what we could do for our people. I mean, my hero in all this, and should be right on the side of him, is Steve Ponville. You know what I mean? Steve went above and beyond to help me to get what I needed for my people. You know, Roddy LaReal, Greg Harding.
Right.
Whatever I asked for, they got for me. Angela Guidry with purchasing at the time, and so many, Kevin Williams with the Cajun Army. I mean, there's so many people that I'm receiving this award, but I'm receiving it with them also in my heart, because without them, they're my heroes.
Yeah, and the parish itself, you know, Gordy, all of those people that just really did what they could to be a support.
Right, and I was never told no for anything that I asked for, and I asked for a lot, and I was never told no one time. So I got to give it to his administration, you know, Mr. Dove's administration. They did an awesome job, and they really helped me to provide for the people that I represented.
Yeah. You know, the other thing that I guess really kind of has to make you feel good is that they have people come down here, and we've heard this time and again about Ida. It said, you know, it was one of the worst things to ever happen, but you couldn't tell from how the people took care of each other.
No, we did. We took care of each other, but, you know, people were so grateful just to have a bag of ice at that time, you know.
Yeah, a mop, a broom.
Yes, anything.
Whatever it was.
And you know, also, you know, I'd like to thank is the Missouri National Guard that came in down here and helped us. They worked hand in hand with me for a month. And upon them leaving, they wanted to make sure that, and they kept asking me for a few times, are you going to be here tomorrow? I said, I've been here every day. Why shouldn't I be here tomorrow? Well, when they were getting ready to leave on the bus, they told me to come to the back of the building at the Ward 7, and they had a full military ceremony. And they presented me with an award, a medal that they hardly ever give out to anybody else.
Oh, my goodness.
And also the Texas Fallen. It's a big organization out of Texas Fallen. They were so impressed, you know, with what I did, that they presented me upon getting ready to leave with the American flag flown over the United States Capitol. So, you know, there's a lot of people that came forward, you know, and helped.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? There's a lot of people that helped, but there were the people that went above and beyond. And I think it's quite honest and fair to say that you were one of those people that went way above.
Well, when I went to the pod and started off taking helping with that pod setup, I mean, I've never done it before in my life, you know, and we had to do what we had to do. And when we got the pod running real well, we had a lot of other councilmen from Terrebonne Parish coming and seeing how we would do it. We had council people from Lafourche Parish coming to Ward 7 and Chauvin to see how we were doing because they heard how much of a great job we were doing.
Right. Yeah, and just a lot of times it's kind of like the thing that we did here with getting state campers to come in instead of waiting on FEMA. Again, sometimes when there's difficult times, call for difficult measures, and we do whatever we have to do. There were a lot of things that I think took place that we kind of set a standard for.
Right, and you got to think outside of the box.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Even outside of the metal box, right?
Right, yeah, because if we'd have had to go through the channels, every channel to get everything that I needed, in Chauvin, it would never happen.
Never gotten it.
Never happened, you know.
Right.
And one thing I'd like to mention also, there was a young woman and a young gentleman with the Air Force National Guard, not National Guard, but Air Force Reserve out of New Iberia. And I don't remember their names, but I love them to death because they were the only ones I had for the first few days, and they did whatever I asked for.
All right, we're back for Bayou Time, and we always have the PIO for the state police, Ross Brennan, on the set, and he's here again today. But we got a very special guest, and I'm going to go chain of command today. I'm going to let Trooper Brennan introduce his boss, and we certainly are glad to have him here. Trooper, good to see you.
Same to you. Thank you for having us. So our guest that we have is our new Troop C commander. This is Captain Kevin Wes Weber. He took over from Captain Lanny Bajon, who got transferred over to the Troop A commander now.
Yeah, Captain, good to have you on board. Good to see you.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
It's a long journey to get to be captain. And, you know, just for clarification, seems like the Grand Isle connection looms pretty large. What do they teach y'all in Grand Isle? It seems to be working, right?
A lot of great young men come out of Grand Isle, apparently.
There you go. And your dad, of course, in law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
For a long time. And I guess maybe my first question to you, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big honor.
Absolutely.
What got you involved in law enforcement? Was it seeing your dad in it, or what was it?
So, as a young child, my mother's uncle, by the name of Bud Roy, was a trooper out of Troop I. So, families from St. Martinville. As a young child, I used to visit with my grandmother a lot. And he used to visit quite frequently in this same uniform I'm wearing today. And I just was always intrigued by that uniform. And it was more of a, you know, oftentimes people want to get into law enforcement in general, but I always had that desire to be a trooper because of that. And as I grew older, you know, also had a desire to join the military, which I ended up joining the Marine Corps. Yeah. But my ultimate goal was to be here to, you know, in this uniform today.
And thank you for that. With the Marine Corps, it gives you and the sheriff of Terrebonne have something in common.
Absolutely.
And that's always a proud thing. Y'all hold that well, and that's an endearment kind of thing. And I mean, just talk about your first days as a trooper. Well, what was your first job in law enforcement? Can you take us back there?
So in 1995, I had gotten out of the Marine Corps, and I was trying to make the journey to become a trooper. And at that time, you had to have 2 years of college, or you had to have 2 years of law enforcement experience. I guess I figured my route was the law enforcement side, so I joined Grand Isle Police Department, worked there for 2 years, and I started applying for state police in 1997. Unfortunately, I wasn't accepted in my first go-round, but then I reapplied and was accepted in 1999, which was my second time I had applied for state police, and then it began from there.
You know, state police has been able to keep that I guess, it's a high-ranking type of position. And when you get it, you have to, and Ross, you know, you went through it also. But, and let me ask Ross, how's it working with the new captain, and how's the changeover been? And pretty much the system sort of
continues to roll, right?
So it's actually been pretty easy. So Captain Kevin Resweber, he was actually the executive officer at the troop. So he was the number 2 guy at the troop. So we worked a lot with different projects and had a lot of time together and stuff like that. So him going into that captain role was pretty easy because we already had that working relationship, working on different projects and enforcement efforts and educational efforts and things like that.
So in years past, when you would get a new person coming in, you got to learn the personality, you got to learn a little bit about everything, but you made a great point. When he steps in, it's almost business as usual. I hate to use that cliche, but it really is, isn't it?
Pretty much. And like Captain Lanny Bergeron, he wasn't originally at Troop C. He came over. So again, there's that that learning curve, understanding what that person likes and their goals and visions for the troop. But having Captain Resweber, who's been at Troop C his whole career, it's pretty easy knowing his personality and his vision and goals and stuff like that coming into the captain role from his prior positions.
And let me ask Captain Resweber, being in that number 2 position, I mean, you had to have some kind of inkling, or maybe you didn't, that you would get this job, but to be in the number 2 position and to move on up, it sure makes it easier, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. For me, it'd have been a lot more challenging to, roll into this position had I not been the executive officer for 2.5 years. And you're correct. I mean, having been the executive officer, there's always that assumption that you're going to be the next guy up, but we've seen in the past that's not always the case.
Yeah, sometimes they jump it, yeah.
And look, when I took on that role as executive officer, I really didn't look at the future as far as to say my goal was to be the captain, because when Captain Lanny Bergeron was there, I didn't know how long he would be staying. I'm getting towards the end of my career, so, I just went in it and just worked. I did my job. Went in every day, gave 100%, and then things just kind of fell into place, and I had the opportunity, and I was fortunate to get the position.
Yeah, and talking to past troopers like Jody Blanchard, gave you high marks, so you must have made a good impression along the way.
I hope so. I've always tried to.
Yeah, where'd you get that from? Was that something instilled in you by your parents, or who'd you pick that up from?
My father, actually. My dad taught me as a young man. I had a job when I was 14 years old. I worked on trawl boats, 15, 16, 17 years old every summer till I went to I joined the Marine Corps, and he always put a work ethic in me. As long as you work hard, you can be successful.
When you joined Troop C, did you sort of have those leadership abilities you think you needed at the time, or was it sort of, corralled by maybe superiors and maybe they brought that out even more in you?
So I believe, as I stated earlier, my father instilled a lot of leadership in me and work ethic. And then, of course, the Marine Corps took a lot of pride in that. The Marine Corps takes a lot of pride in leadership. I felt I brought some of that to the state police. However, I've been fortunate along my career. I've gotten to work for a lot of really good leaders, and you always pick up those additional leadership traits from those people, and you try to carry that forward.
Yeah. And take us back to your early years as a trooper, and sort of how the journey to where you are now.
Okay, so when I started as a trooper, my goal at that time was to be a master trooper. I didn't really know much about the rank, didn't care much about the rank. I just wanted to be a trooper. I was proud to be a trooper. Anybody that worked with me will tell you when I went to work, it was a matter of writing tickets and putting impaired drivers in jail as many as I could, and I took a lot of enjoyment out of that. And I never really focused on the promotional process. I had goals. I wanted to be on the SWAT team. I managed to attain that goal my first year on the job, and then I became a part of the sniper team, and I did that for nearly 14 years in my career while I was a trooper. And then one of the goals I had was to be in the Criminal Patrols Division of State Police. So it took me about 10 years to get into there. And then, so that was back in 2010. And then I stayed in there for about 4 years, and I was promoted to sergeant out of there with nearly 15 years on the job. So I didn't actually get promoted in the department to sergeant until I was just shy of 15 years. So, and then from that point forward, I think that's when I really started to realize the importance of the leadership and being promoted, and you have an opportunity to affect some positive change, and you start to get a taste for that, and you realize that, well, if I'm a sergeant and I can affect this change, and it's time to be a lieutenant, and then just so on and so forth, and here I am today.
So how is it with the new regime? What are some of the changes that, if any, that have come about with the state police, or what's some of the focus maybe that y'all are trying to make sure that happens?
I think right now a big focus with the department, and we're getting a lot of support from the legislators and the governor's office, is the recruiting side of it. We've lost a lot of troopers to attrition over the years. We went several years back without an academy. It's just hard to catch up with those numbers. So they're putting a lot of emphasis on recruiting. The governor and the legislature have been real supportive with the funding to get us those monies to do that. And then, as you know, we got the troop NOLA coming up. They're in the process of developing a brand new troop in the New Orleans area. So that's helping us as well.
Does it help that the governor comes from a law enforcement background?
I believe so, absolutely. He understands what we're going through, and he understands the importance of having good law enforcement. I mean, you got to get rid of the crime. So.
And then you have a high-ranking former captain of the state police, Frank Besson, and it's always good to have somebody on your home team right there, because they can relate to you.
Absolutely, and it's a big deal for us here at Troop C because, Colonel Besson worked at Troop C as a trooper. He was there for about 9 years, and then, he moved on to Baton Rouge, but he came back as a troop commander for 5 years. So, and you look, a lot of people don't realize the current colonel we have, Colonel Hodges, was our region major for Region 2, which covers Troop C, Troop I, and Troop D for approximately 2 years, Ross?
Around that.
So he's very familiar with us and what we do down south. And so we got a lot of support in Baton Rouge in this area.
Well, good. In the recruiting aspect of it all, what put it back somewhat? Was it Ida? Was it COVID? Or was it just a combination of everything?
I think it's a combination of everything. And, look, it's no secret. Law enforcement as a whole across the country, I guess, got painted kind of in a bad way.
Well, that's true.
To a lot of the media and stuff from some incidents that occurred, some isolated incidents across the country. So, and we just seen a shift to where a lot of people lost interest in getting into law enforcement. So, but I think it's turning back. I have a lot of optimism about what's coming. Like I said, we're getting a lot of support, and we're getting a positive message put out.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
first award is the 2024 Division II Select Softball Most Outstanding Player Award, as selected by the working media. This award goes to number 19, Corey Calvert of Technical Catholic High School. And now your moment you waited for, your 2024 LHSAA Softball State Championship Trophy for your Division II Select goes to Vanderbilt Catholic High School.
All right, ladies, here we go. Here we go. Congratulations. Awesome. Thank you.
We've been having a lot of these same girls for last 4 years and made it to the semis 3 years ago, lost in that by 1 run, lost to the state championship to the same team 4-1 last year, and we made a pact that we were going to come back and win it this year. And the girls definitely showed out today. They came out, they hit the ball, they played great defense, we pitched really well, all aspects of the game. I'm very proud of them. We definitely got to go with Corinne Talbot. Corinne Talbot yesterday in the semifinal game hit a home run and threw a 2-hitter. Today hit 2 home runs in this game and shut down Buckeye today. I mean, definitely kudos goes to her. She got MVP. She should probably have MVP of this whole tournament because she did really amazing. And also we have a lot of other people. I can't really just point out everybody. Everybody did their job today. You know, behind the plate, we did great. We made plays. We hit the ball in timely situations. So kudos to the whole team. Well, I mean, we return a lot of kids next year. We have about 7 girls that play on this team this year that's going to be returning next year with only 1 senior next year. So I feel like we're going to be back at it again next year, but we're going to keep working harder because this is fun to have right here. They got me.
All the hard work that I've put in, it just feels awesome. It's a dream come true.
What would you say to your teammates?
Oh, how proud I am of them, and I know they've wanted it as bad as I did, and just proud.
Here we go. Hey, listen up. Girls, we've been here to the state tournament. It's our 3rd time. Lost in the semis, lost in the state championship. You are not doing it today. You are not going to lose this game. We fought. Like I said, we're going to be going to war. You have to fight every single pitch, and you've done that. We were the better team. It was obvious that we were the better team. We played hard, great hits, good at bats, great defense. All the things that we've been talking about all year. We played against the softball, and we won today. Proud of every single one of y'all. Y'all put in so much work this year. All right, from when we lost last year, we got in the weight room and we started working. We worked hard all summer. We worked hard all fall. And y'all, we know we worked hard all spring. And look what we got. A state championship. Ain't nobody can ever take this from you. Nobody. You have done something that only a select few has done. Only a select few have won a state championship, and you in that category, girls. Hey, ring sizes. We're gonna find them.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
All right, you are looking at the Vanderbilt Catholic Girls State Championship softball team. Wow, and they are here in the HTV studios, and what a great feat that they had. And I'm joined by the coaches. We're going to talk to the players in a little bit. They're all going to get to say their name and their grade and their position. Are y'all ready for that one? Are y'all ready for this? Everybody's ready? Y'all look like a confident group. Well, are y'all a confident group? I would think y'all are state champions. All right, we got the coach up here. Coach is confident too. Coach Jeremy Duplantis. You got to throw the first pitch out at the Vanderbilt game the other day against E.D. White. And look, I don't care what people say, it was a strike. You hit the low corner of the plate. That's right. And that was a strike. But let me ask you again, that was a strike. But let me ask you again with the players here and some of the parents are here. What an incredible year. And there we see you, the girls being introduced at the game. When you win state, you get announced at all kind of places. You get recognized. It's just the good stuff that goes with being a state champion. There you are, throwing out the first pitch. Were you nervous at this point?
Very nervous. I just didn't want to bounce it or throw it to the back of the net for sure.
Overthrow, but never bounce it, right?
Yeah, I was practicing, and they were wondering why. I was like, I don't want to embarrass myself.
And this is when they were, of course, they were announcing all the girls, and the girls looked like they're having fun with you on the mound. Were y'all taunting them a little bit while he was up there? They're waving their head, yeah. Here we go. See, look, that's a strike to me.
Yeah, it fell off a little bit.
Yeah, you probably threw a curveball.
Yeah.
But let's talk. And also, we have Erica Babin, who's an 06
yes, sir.
Graduate and a state champion herself. And later on in the show, we're going to talk about the legacy here, because this legacy started well before y'all were born. I was a young man covering Vanderbilt. We'll talk about that. But, Coach, so number 15, it keeps counting. I asked you this the other day, but I want the girls to sort of hear it. They probably watched you on Facebook or YouTube, but to continue that legacy. What did it mean to you as a coach to get number 15? Because we can say Vanderbilt has a dynasty in girls softball.
Yeah, it was definitely a relief because, I mean, since I got here, I know with a lot of these girls, it's been the same girls since I got here 4 years ago. And we've been talking about it, getting that number 15, getting back to having a state championship. So I feel like it was more of a relief than anything because people have been talking about it for a while. But I think now it made us even more hungry. So,
uniforms look better.
Oh, yeah.
The hats look better. Everything is better. I remember back in the days when I was filming Coach Albert, he had the same old clothes, and he was very superstitious. He would wash them, but he wore the same stuff all the time. Are you superstitious as a coach?
I did think about one shirt that I wore last year in the state championship that we lost, and I definitely left that one home.
Yeah.
But I took the other two that we won with. So.
All right, let me turn to Coach Erica Babb, and let's talk about this. Repeats itself for you mentally as a coach. What's the difference between winning one as a player and then winning one as a coach?
I felt like it was more nerve-wracking as a coach. Like sitting there and not being able to, you can only control what you can control when you're the player. You know you're hungry for it, you know you want it, and you can control it. But I was sitting in the dugout, and my husband was like, I have never seen you so nervous. And I was like, I needed those last three outs to happen, and just to sit back and trust that they could do it. It was a great feeling, but yes, definitely more nervous as a coach.
What made you tick as a player when the coach did what? How did the coach relax you all? First of all, who was coaching back in your day?
Margaret.
Yeah,
Johnson,
okay.
Yes.
So Margaret was a disciple of Coach Albert. Then Margaret had so many state championships herself. But what would she say that calmed you down, and how did you relate that to your current team?
One of the biggest things I remember her saying was 7 innings. You got to play 7 innings, 1 out at a time. And so I said that a lot to the girls because it is 7 innings. It's a long game. A lot can happen. And I just needed them to stay focused for 7 full innings. They would laugh because if they when I first started with them and somebody would ask the score and I'd say it's 0-0 because you can't be satisfied with what you got. And we saw that at the end of the game. We were up 7-1 and they started coming back with 2 outs, 7-3. So that's why I was like, you can never be satisfied with your runs. You never think about the score. You always want to try to get more. So those are some things that I carried on from her.
Yeah, let me ask Coach DePlantis something, because when I was looking at some old footage today of that's how I got my start at HTV covering girls softball at Vanderbilt. A lot of people don't realize that, and we'll show that in the next segment. But everyone after that point was gunning for Vanderbilt. They were so far ahead of everybody. But then a lot of girls started playing softball, and a lot of girls started getting competitive, and that competitive spirit grew and grew and grew. So what these young ladies did and y'all did, I think today is harder because everybody knows Vanderbilt's program. So y'all going to get everybody's best game. But overall, you see a lot of great athletes on the girls' side now, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
They've grown.
They have. I mean, everybody plays travel ball now that plays high school. I mean, so every team's competitive. I mean, I really think it's all about who wants it more and who works harder.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the team to come out on top.
Very special day. Vanderbilt Catholic girls softball team winning the state championship, number 15 for the school. All right, so we are going to meet the team. We're going to roll in highlights as they come up to the microphone. So we are going to start without further ado. Let's meet the team. Let's roll in some highlights.
I'm Corinne Talbot. I'm a senior, and I'm a pitcher, middle infielder.
Very good. 17 home runs, by the way, for that young lady.
I'm Haley Henry. I'm a senior, and I'm the designated hitter.
All right.
My name's Ella Rao. I'm a senior, and I play left field.
Okay.
I'm Sage Luke. I'm a senior, and I play first base.
Hi, my name is Mallory Tavito. I play right field, and I'm a senior, and I have presents for you as well.
Oh, thank you very much. I will put that on let's get a shot up here real quick, Jay. Autograph, softball, and a hat. Well, I love the hats.
That's a nice hat. My husband's been
They have come a
wanting one.
long way. Well, you ain't getting this one. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate it. All right, next up.
My name's Mia Adams. I'm a junior, and I play first base.
Okay.
I'm Abby Aguilar. I'm a pitcher, middle infielder, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Hayes Rutledge. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a catcher.
All right, good deal.
My name's Emmy Rao. I am a sophomore, and I play center field.
My name's Lauren Baudouin. I'm a middle infielder and a pitcher, and I'm a sophomore.
My name's Annabella Marciani. I'm a freshman, and I play first base.
We're on to freshmen now. Mm-hmm.
My name's Caroline. I'm a freshman, and I play first base and outfield. My name's Molly Petrie. I'm a freshman, and I play shortstop and outfield.
Got a lot of freshmen, Coach.
That's a big freshman.
Future
class.
looks good.
My name's Lexi Mathern. I'm a freshman. I play third base. My name's Ella Oquint. I'm a freshman. I play outfield.
I'm Megan Baudouin. I'm an 8th grader, and I play third base.
Yeah, she's a freshman.
I'm Cassidy Svest. I'm a catcher, and I'm a freshman.
Okay.
I'm Ava Leary. I'm a freshman, and I play outfield.
My name's Callie Walk. I'm an 8th grader, and I play shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Aaliyah Kale. I'm an 8th grader, and I play outfield.
My name's Kenzie Arthur. I'm in 8th grade, and I play second base.
All right, let's get a shot of the team again if we can. Now just raise your hand. I'm trying to get a count because there's a lot of 8th grade and freshmen in this group. All the seniors, raise your hand. So we have 5 seniors. Okay, juniors?
Yes, me.
Sophomores? Freshmen in 8th grade. The future looks pretty doggone good.
It does.
I mean, now, don't take this the wrong way, 9th graders and 8th graders. There was an old saying by Al McGuire who always said, The best thing about a freshman, they become a sophomore because you grow. I could tell when the seniors got up, they bowled. 8th graders are a little more timid, but they're going to learn how to take over that spot. And winning the state championship does a lot for that. How'd you calm the 8th and 9th graders down before the game?
Well, I mean, I think the seniors did a good job with that, and the girls that had been there before, they were very confident this year, and just, you could tell they had no nerves at all. Yeah. And I think the younger kids definitely fed off of that, because you could talk to them and say as much as you want, but when they get in the atmosphere, it's about who's around them at that point. And they were confident this year, and they've been there before. It's the 3rd year in a row being to the state tournament, and I think they fed off of that energy, and it was huge for us.
Erica, did y'all win it y'all won it in 06?
Yes, sir.
So that was the year?
So I think the 2 years before that, we were runner-up, and then my senior year, we won. And before that, it was 99. So there was a little bit of a break, kind of like now, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
But in all fairness, those teams that Coach Albert had and Margaret had, it was just powerhouse teams. And then people started working out the girls and sending them to camps, and they all, but you know, if we can roll in a little footage, let's roll in Michelle Broussard way back in the day when I was filming, way back. There's Michelle Broussard hitting. Not only could she pitch, she went 88-0 in her high school career. She never lost a game as a pitcher, but she was a great athlete. She could have played golf and won state in golf. She was that good. At that time, I don't know what she was throwing, because the radar guns that they were using to tape people were from the police departments. So I don't know, but I nicknamed her Fireball because there's Margaret catching way back in the day. So as Coach Albert, of course, he set the tone. Most of the teams they played were beat before they even played the game. They would warm up, and most teams were psyched out before the game even started, so it made it easy. But they sort of set the tone. But I got to tell you, watching y'all highlights, and y'all were every bit as good. I mean, I think girls' sports has just progressed so much. And we're going to take a break and come back. But let me ask you, what's the most important thing you gathered from that state championship game? Were y'all in tuned to just a game, or did you were your nerves calm enough to where you could enjoy the game? Were y'all just not, y'all enjoyed the game? You were pretty relaxed?
I think last year when
Go on the mic. Yeah, I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to let you talk.
Right now.
Yeah.
I think last year when we came state runner-up, I think it became like a goal in mind, and that's why it was of a struggle for us in the beginning of the year. We wanted to get back to that, and we wanted to have that in our memories, because it's not something that's just like for our career at Vanderbilt, but it's also something that we take from when we leave there.
And I always tell my nephew Dominic LeBuff, I tell all my family, when you get to that level, do yourself a favor next time, especially the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen. Look around and see where your parents are on the stand. Do y'all do that every now and then? Do they? See, when we played, we couldn't look in the stands. We had to run extra laps if we looked in the stand. But do yourself a favor. Enjoy the moment. See where your parents are. Look at them, because without your parents supporting you, you wouldn't be sitting in this chair today. So look at them, smile, give them a thumbs up. I know they can be aggravating sometimes, but just admire them and know they did the right thing for you. So enjoy those moments, because you'll never get them back. Of course, we have the Vanderbilt Catholic Girls Softball State Champions for 2024. And this has been going on for a long time, as we said, and they're keeping the tradition alive. They show a couple of those articles when I was covering Vanderbilt way back in 1980, and even probably a year before that, but this is when they were, Michelle Broussard was on ESPN. She had won 88 games in a row. And like I said, I think this team sitting in the studio today probably faced a lot of very tough competition. I was nervous when we premiered that first show.
I was 22 years old back then. But y'all have come a long, long way. A lot of athletes in this group, huh?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
You had 2 or 3 athletes back then, but the whole team now are athletes.
Yeah.
They train. Y'all lift a lot of weights? Yeah? See, they're all shaking their head. All right, who's the funny one in the bunch? They keep pointing at Hayes. Hayes, come on up to the microphone. Let's meet Hayes. Let's see what Hayes got that. When I said, who's the funniest one in the group, they all pointed at Hayes. Are you the one that keeps everybody loose?
I try.
What are some of your methods?
I like to sing. I like to dance.
Why is your team all laugh?
They like to. Okay, so we played this game at school where we passed the ball around, and one time I had to do face makeup like a celebrity, and it burned my face for a couple days, but it was worth it to see them laugh.
It burned your face?
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. All right, I need a sophomore, a freshman, and an 8th grader up there. Who's going to jump at it? Come on, give me a sophomore. Raise your hand. Sophomore? All right, give me a freshman and an 8th grader. All right, because y'all the future. All right? So step on up as a group. So what's it going to take? What did you learn from being in a state championship that now you sort of can relax, but you can keep the momentum going? What did you learn from that whole experience? Okay, go ahead. Let's get the freshman up there.
I kind of just learned not to be like afraid and just play how you know how to play.
All right, what position did you play again?
Pitcher and middle infield.
Okay, all right. So you played loose. Okay, good deal. And the 8th grader, what did you learn?
You always have to play as a team, and it's always like about the girl on the side of you, not just about yourself.
Yeah. How does it feel to win a state championship as an 8th grader?
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people wait their whole careers. A lot of people don't ever win one, and you won one as an 8th grader.
Yes, sir.
So does it sort of motivate you for the years to come?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool. All right, Hayes, what'd you learn?
Well, I learned a lot about sportsmanship this year and leadership because I feel like the seniors did a really good job. But it was a lot more difficult for me because last year I was able to play in the state championship, and this year I had to watch from the side. So it was really humbling for me, and it really showed me that my team has my back no matter what.
All right, fantastic. So let's show the players again, because I want the players to understand what the coaches mean to your team and all that. So can we give your coaches a round of applause, because they've spent a lot of time. And also, can we give your parents and grandparents and sisters and brothers a hand? Because they mean a lot too. And Coach, I'll let you, we got about 40 seconds left. Congratulations. And when do y'all start thinking about next year?
We kind of already have a little bit. I mean,
I figured.
You know, the thing about it is, I was looking today, I was comparing lineups from the same team that we lost to. They lost one player compared to this year. And you can tell that we were the more dominant team this year, that we worked way harder than what they did. So we got to get started so we can be even better for next year.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Coach Erica, congratulations on winning one and coaching one. And ladies, thank y'all so much. This means a lot. I'm a proud Vanderbilt graduate. I'll put it on my shelf, and it'll be right there. Thank y'all for coming. Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
just so proud of the way our girls came out and fought today. You know, we're facing not only a top team in the top team in our division, but they're one of the top teams in the nation, and we went toe-to-toe with them today, and I just am so proud of our team.
Who were some of your key players this year?
Oh, the list is long, but I'll start with our seniors, Destiny Pierce, Haley Henry, and Jaden Yesso. Our pitcher, Briley Levels, an 8th grader. We have really all of them. Third base, Riley False. Outfielder, Maddie Hunley. Aubrey Thomas. Cameron Arno came in. This is her first year. She's an 8th grader and played second base for us. Ansley Molazon played right field. She's never played outfield before, and we had a player that quit, and so she came in and filled that role, and I think she did a fantastic job. So it's when you've had this kind of season, it's just collectively just so thankful for each one of them, and even those that didn't play, they still are a key role to the success we had this season.
Talk a little bit about your seniors. How many seniors do you have graduating this year?
3 seniors. That's
fine. We'll edit it.
You know, those 3 seniors mean so much to me personally. I've coached them since they were in 7th grade. They're just a great group of girls, great leaders. They're all going to be going on to play at the next level. They're like family to me as well as their family. You know, we're just close, and like I told them in the huddle, you know, your goal is to leave a program better than what you found it. And they truly have left our program better than what they found it.
Tell me a little bit about some of your returning players that you have coming up next year.
We have our pitcher, Briley Level, coming back, and our second base, third base, and outfield, they'll all be coming back. And then we have an outfielder and a first baseman and a pitcher that were on the bench, so they'll be coming back and just, you know, they'll be filling some key roles next year.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
From Premier Lanes Entertainment Center in Gonzales, we are underway at a strike right away for South Terrebonne in its number 1 spot from Bunker Johnson. And Shaw at number 4, Riley Elwood strikes as well. So the strikes are coming right away for both of these teams. Both of them, of course, their primary color is green. So don't be confused. We'll keep you posted on who's who. Here's Bella. Good release. Good result. Double for South Terrebonne in the 3 spot. Nice light hit by Alamont. And that puts him on top for the moment in his match. And yes, he does take the lead. So things changing, matches tightening and changing hands as we speak. Collins sends it wide and slaughters the rack.
It seems like he has more room right now to play with than the others on this side. He's able to get it further right.
I totally agree. Rishu with a big double for Archbishop Shaw.
That's a big 7th frame turn of events for Shaw on this right pair. They get 2 spares and a double while South Terrebonne gets 3 opens.
And a really good spare conversion, 3-pin conversion by Tron. Champagne comes through. So Shaw in position here.
Possibly to sweep.
Yeah. And it's all about how you finish. Here's Elwood looking for another. Good shot. Oh, yes. 4 in a row for Riley. Looked like it was going to be a struggling game for him. But look at it. And going to the wall to finish up with 6 in a row for Archbishop Shaw. Zachary Rishu, and that's in the 1 spot. And a big strike. So Shaw is going to sweep this game, Lenny.
We don't see that very often.
Doesn't
when
happen
we get to the
an 8-0 game.
No, not. I mean, you see it in matches all the time. You don't see it in finals all the time.
So we're through 2 frames here of game number 2.
You know, and the thing, like, cross country, you can have the fastest runner, but if you don't have 5 people that can get across the line and post a time, then you're not going to win as a team.
Tron with a double, Champagne with a strike for South Terrebonne. And a Brooklyn here, that's in bowling. The power lines are breaking. South Terrebonne's off to a great start on the low pair. They've got a triple and 2 doubles through 3 frames on the low pair.
They had a shaky first frame and they bounced back.
Yeah. Shaw's matching them pretty much. Jones punches one out. Another strike. Johnson. Look at South Terrebonne.
Now the question becomes...
Here's Champagne. Yeah. Abella rather staying in it with a double. He needed that, and he got it.
Now, Shaw with the lead in 4 of 6.
Yeah.
Depending on those margins, if they can get total, they've got to clinch. Remember, 14, you see it on your screen there. 14 is the magic number.
So 6 is the number in this game.
They get 4 wins and total, that's enough.
Here's Champagne. And there's another strike. 237. Now Jones, who's had a big game, he makes it bigger as he strikes here. Jones with a chance to shoot 248. He's going to win his match by 90 to 100 pins.
Yep. And Arena's going to make a ball change here in the 10th frame.
Going to be the 3rd one he's changed.
Got it.
And got it. Wins his match. Champagne, look at him. He strikes out for 245 and loses. Oh, that's tough. 246, 245.
That's a great job by South Terrebonne on the high side.
South Terrebonne's bowled really well this game. Look at the scores. 237 for Shaw, 246 for Shaw, 233 for Shaw. But then you look at the South Terrebonne side. The low pair competed well.
This is the first time all year, Ken, they've shot 1,200 in a game.
Need a double here, not going to get it. So that's a win for South Terrebonne at 3. Couldn't make a better shot. Weird rack again got him. Jones strikes. Really good shot by Champagne. That's a double. So both teams bowling well right now. Johnson at number 2. And there's another really good shot. Thrown by Bella, who's just bowling a great game as we watch Zach Rishu. Elwood triples. Here's Rishu for 8. He got it. 8-10 goes out. Very impressive. 8 in a row for Rishu. Archbishop Shaw well on its way to winning his first state championship since 2009 and the first ever in Division II. For South Terrebonne now, Arena needs to mark to win. He's high. Oh, he left us on 9 pin. Wow. It's been that kind of day for him. He has to make that now if he wants to win his match. Marillo strikes at least forcing a mark for his opponent. So that Tron can strike here and force a spear and strike by Audemars. And he strikes. So Audemars must make the spear here. And he does. So now he needs a strike to win. A 9 will tie.
And Josh Collins has been waiting back. He's going to throw the last shot.
He wants to throw the last shot as well. He should. He's the anchor bowler on a state championship team. Audemars will step on the lane, meaning 9 to tie, 10 to win. No hesitation. Let it go, yanks it, and got a break, and he wins by 1 pin. So South Terrebonne wins 2 matches in close fashion of the low pair. He just ran up to the lane and throws it. There it is. The Archbishop Shaw Eagles are your LHSAA Division II state champions. Collins closing it appropriately with a strike to give Shaw the win.
19 to 8, I believe, is the final.
There was really little doubt about this midway through the 3rd game. South Terrebonne needed something gigantic. They got some good scores.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hey Mason, congrats. You said recently that the Jaguars visit that you had with them was your favorite of the bunch. What sort of stood out about it, and how excited are you to become a Jaguar?
Man, first and foremost, man, I'm really excited. I feel like for me, man, that's honestly, I don't think it could have ended up any better, man. Not too far from home, very, very warm, a lot of things that I'm very much so used to. I had a great visit with the defensive coordinator and the defensive line coach, man. And, I actually had a relationship with the defensive line coach prior when he was at Vanderbilt University when I was coming through high school, man. So they always, from the jump of the conversations that we had, man, it was just real. For me, I just like to have realists around me, man, just people that's not going to shy away from telling me what I need to hear instead of what I want to hear, man. And a lot of guys run from that, man, and I run to it. So just being able to, get that feel from them, and them also have a lot of confidence in me, and the abilities that I bring to the game, man. And, my defensive coordinator is also there from this past year, Matt House, man. So, and that's my guy, been my guy since he got to LSU. And I'm just fortunate enough to be able to be around him and my dog BT, man. We gonna rock the world and we gonna do what we gotta do.
Awesome, thank you.
Go ahead, Hayes.
Hey, Mason, congratulations. Can you update us? Obviously, you came back from the ACL injury. Do you feel like now you're fully 100%? What were you able to kind of do on the field last year to get beyond that?
I definitely will say this is the best I've felt since my knee injury, man. And I felt like through the pro day and the combine testing and everything like that, people being able to see me move, I felt like it showed that I didn't miss a beat. And man, it was tough for me coming back this year. Not necessarily playing the way I know I can and up to my ability, man. And just being able to take the coaching and take the constructive criticism, man, and continue to progress and get better every single week, man. That's all it was for me. With a great coach in Pete Jenkins, man, he kind of brought me along and allowed me to get back to doing things the right way, technically wise, schematically wise, man. And at the end of it, man, I felt great. And I think, coming into this next chapter in my life, man, I'm just going to continue to excel. And continue to grow in the right direction.
Awesome. Thank you, Mason. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to Mark and then Mia.
Hey, Mason, congrats. Can you just take us through some of those relationships you talked about? I mean, how big is it to have BT here, Matt House, and even Ryan Nielsen? I assume you know him maybe from your early days at LSU.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Man, just like I said, man, BT, my guy, always been my guy. Me and BT came into college together. So, just getting that experience with him. And, I feel like he really comfortable around me, man. And me and BT got the same agent, same a lot of things, man. We both from the state of Louisiana. So just being able to be around him is definitely going to make my transition a little bit easier knowing that I got a brother with me already. And, just like I said about Coach House, man, just their relationship has always been great. He's always believed in me. I always had the confidence in me. He even used to take me out of practice when I was disrupting the practice and the offense couldn't get anything going, man. And, we always had, like I said, man, the thing for me always been about somebody being real. And, he's always kept it real with me. And, I love to have him in my corner again, and I'm grateful for it. I'm probably going to get on the phone with him after this. because that's my guy, man. His family, his whole family, his sons, his daughter, Miss Jess. They just always allowed me and showed me open arms when I came to their home and everything, man. So it's just great to have those familiar faces, and I'm ready to get to work.
And then just to keep it real, like you said there, how much is your best footballs in front of you, given the injury situation at LSU?
I think my best football is yet to come. I think, like I said, man, just continue to progress and excel. Because I'm a physical freak, man. I'm a specimen. So just being able to be, for me, man, I always thought it was consistency. And with consistent coaching comes consistent play. And I think that's one thing that I lacked in college, was having that consistent coaching, man. So I know when I get into the building, man, and get that consistent coaching I've been needing, man, and I feel like the sky's the limit. My best ball is ahead of me, man, and I can't wait to reach that point.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.